public just bought it like crazy. We sold about 240 people into it in the first month that we launched it. And here's a photo of my friends helping me pack these boxes. And we agreed to ship people out a box with, for everyone who purchased. And we had no idea that this many people were going to buy, so we really got ourselves into a bit of an issue. And here's my stairwell just filled to the top with like boxes. It took us about a month to pack these things. And that first year I made. Hey, it's Sam Ovens again, and thanks for registering for the consulting webinar. You've made an awesome decision, and I can't wait to see you on the webinar and share this information with you so that you can apply it and really use it to change your life and really start your own. I went around the world game fishing, and I went to see different NBA games, and I really started to enjoy a lot of freedom. Here's another photo of my apartment here, and I used to shout my friends on helicopter trips and things. And I grew up in a poor family, so as soon as I had money, it was like I had this burning desire to do all of these things that I'd always dreamed of. And I really just had to get that out of my system. But once it was out of my system, I decided to go back and really focus on this program because it was delivering such awesome results for people, and because people really wanted it. I thought, it's my duty to go back and make this thing even better. So I rented my first office right here, which was the story beneath my apartment back in New Zealand, and I went to work and I started working harder than ever, making this program even better. And then I relaunched the next version, and that was in the next year. And when I relaunched it, people bought it like crazy, and it made $2.4 million. And at this stage, I decided to go all in. At this point, I realized that I had something special. I had something that worked for me. And I decided to go all in and focus everything I had on it. So I sold everything I had in New Zealand, and I decided to move to New York. And this is my new apartment that I moved into, and that is where I live right now in Midtown Manhattan. And this is my desk right here, and this is where I run my consulting business from day to day, and this is where I'm doing this webinar from right now. And so that's where I work. And I started working harder than ever before. And I kept improving my consulting skills. I kept improving my training programs. And my clients' results just started to go through the roof. And by the time I was 27 years old, I'd made over $18 million. And so that first year I was in New York, 2016, 18 million. But I didn't stop there. I got back to work and I just kept working on this thing because I knew that this thing could help more people. If it had helped this many people so far, I knew it could help more. So I decided to start working harder than ever, and I started meeting with my clients. I started meeting with them and inviting them over to my apartment. And you can see some photos of them here. We would hang out and we'd discuss strategies and what's working and how we could improve everything. And it was awesome to meet with everyone because it just added a whole sense of realness to everything. Seeing all the people that were in my programs, hearing their life stories and hearing how this was helping them. And this really enabled me to really improve things and take the results to that next level. And I started getting clients all over the world. And right now we have clients in 72 different countries around the world. And our community started growing like crazy. We had more than 10,000 customers. And I quickly realized that I'd started something that was much bigger than me. And this was no longer about Sam Ovens. This was a worldwide movement. And I decided to purchase the domain name consulting.com, and I decided, that this thing has power. This thing has a lot of power and a lot of potential. This was sort of an open rebel by the people. They were like, we want to start our own businesses. We're tired of working for other people, and we want freedom, and we want to be able to make bigger incomes and really dictate life on our own terms. And that's really what
Open Play School
become for everyone. And this whole movement sort of started to emerge. So I set up this office on Madison Avenue in New York, and I bought the domain
Open Play School.
And I invested a huge amount of money. I invested more than $10 million of my own money in it to really taking things to the next level. And you can see some photos of our team. I hired more than 30 people. I also opened an office in Ireland, and you can see some different pictures of our offices here. And then the world really started to take notice. I featured in Entrepreneur magazine, featured Forbes, Huffington Post, Fortune, Inc., and I even got invited down to the New York Stock Exchange to talk about how I was doing consulting and how I was helping everyone. And then Forbes put me on their 30 under 30 list. And here's my profile on Forbes right here, and you can see 30 under 30, and Forbes estimated my net worth to be $65 million. And really, I thought I'd reached the top in 2016 at 18 million. I thought, well, this thing has hit the limits, but I wasn't even really scratching the surface. It was a burning desire to just improve my life and my conditions and everything. And then in 4 years, I was in Manhattan, had owned consulting.com and a net worth of 65 million. And now what I want you to do right now is imagine yourself 4 years from now. So picture where you are right now, your current situation, what you're doing and everything. Picture that for a moment. And then what I want you to do is imagine where you could be in 4 years. You know, imagine if you had the same progress over the 4 years that I had. Imagine where you could be. And now what I want you to do right now is make a decision that you're going to change things. And this is really important because when I think about it, where everything started for me, where everything started changing, is when I was just sitting in my cubicle at my corporate job and I thought, you know what? This isn't what I want. I want to make a change and I want to build a life the way I want it to be. And it was just that one decision that started everything. And that's where it begins. And it can't begin until you do that. So what I want you to do right now is just make that decision. And it's not just my results. You might be thinking, well, that's an awesome story and everything, Sam, but how do I know that you just didn't fluke it? And how do I know that I'm going to be able to do it? And that's a very good question. So here's some of my clients. Here's Olani, and he's a former NFL athlete. And he started working with me when his business was unstable and struggling. And within his first month, he grew to 20 grand a month. And over the first year of working with me, he made over $150,000. And here's a Kimmy. She started working with me when her business was struggling. And within
Open Play Store.
She grew it into the millions and
Play
became
Store.
a millionaire. And here's Hunter.
Play
Older.
Store.
So when Hunter started working
Open.
with me, he had no idea what his
Open.
business was. He didn't even have a business.
Open.
And he started his own business,
Play
consulting
Store.
business in a pretty cool niche, and it's porn addiction consulting. And not only that, but he scaled it to 6 figures in just a few months. And here's Brittany Brown. She started working with me when her business was struggling. She was spread out across different niches. She was burnt out. And within a few months of working with me, she grew to 30 grand a month. She's in the binge eating niche. And here's Andrew Argue. He's in the accounting niche. And he started working with me when he wasn't in the accounting niche. He started working with me when he was spread out all over the place, doing all sorts of things and struggling. And within months of working with me, he had dialed in his niche and he grew his business to $300,000 a month. This is just in a few months. And then within 1 year, he grew it to $900,000 a month. And that is not a typo. That's 900 grand a month. That's almost $1 million a month. And yes, that is more than $10 million.
Open Play Store. Open Play Store. Open Play Store.
Thousands of others all over the world. And I know saying 3,000, is a big
Open
bold claim,
Google.
so I just want to back it up right now. So on our website, consulting.com, if you click on reviews here, you can see we have over 3,000 customer reviews. And we publish all of them on our website, all 3,000 of them. You can see them all there. And this thing started to take on a life of its own. You know, before it was just me starting this small little Sam Ovens consulting business, but now this thing turned into a movement and it had run off and it was living a life of its own. And an entire community started to develop. So we started a Facebook group because we had all of these different members and we wanted a place to hang out and talk to each other. We called it the Consulting Community. And then what was amazing to see is that all these relationships started to form. You know, people would partner up with each other and become accountability partners, and then people would partner up with each other and practice the sales script. And friendships were made. You know, a lot of people were able to help each other, and what really started happening is a whole culture really started to emerge and form in this community. And what was amazing is that whenever people would get clients, they would post in the group and say, ring the bell. So whenever someone got a client to celebrate, they'd come into the group and just say, ring the bell, and they'd post these images, just saying, ring the bell. And then it started to mutate. You know, people started adding their personality to the bell. You can see there's a different bell here. This guy submitted an AC/DC bell. And then this thing just started to get out of hand. You know, we started getting more than 10 people posting in the group every single day just saying, ring the bell. And now in this group, it's just contagious. It's like this is just bred and just gone wild. There are people getting clients and celebrating in this group every day, all hours of the day. And the results of everyone in there just got out of hand. And then I decided to really do something special for everyone in the group because they were doing so well. And because everyone was ringing this fake bell, people would just like ring the bell and then just post an image. I thought, well, I'm going to get them a real bell to ring. And so what I decided to do is I bought a full blown robot. And you can see it here. And I installed it in our office in Madison Avenue. And I basically got my developers to hook it into our training system. So within our learning platform, our clients can go in there, and when they get a client, they click ring the bell. And then they're able to see this robot in real time over a webcam, and they're actually able to click a button and ring the bell and see it all happen. And then, everyone at our office claps and everything. It's an awesome way for us at the office to really see, the results that our clients are getting and really celebrate with them. And this course just grew into something like nothing else the world had ever seen. And we produced, in a very short amount of time, 21 millionaires. So 21 people who started from zero or close to zero grew to more than $1 million. And we helped 452 people make six-figure incomes. And over 2,838 people quit their job because of this training. And you're probably thinking, why consulting? Like, how did Sam make that much money and have such a crazy story with consulting? And how did all of those people make all of that money with consulting? I thought consulting was just a bunch of dudes wearing suits, selling time for money and just running around doing that. Why consulting? Well, the best way I can describe it is with this story from John Lennon of the Beatles. And one day John Lennon's wife was looking at their yard and she said that she wanted a pool. And John replied, okay, well, let's get one. And when John's wife responded, saying, well, how are we going to do that? John said, I'll write us one. And having a viable consulting offer is one of the most valuable assets that you can have because it means that you will never go hungry. And just like John Lennon had writing songs, you can have consulting as your way to get anything that you want in life. And while others obtain things through a lifetime of savings and frugality, you can obtain things by getting a few consulting clients. And you can finally stop worrying about where your next check is going to come from. Now let's talk about the benefits of consulting. So what makes consulting so good? Why consulting? Well, with consulting, you can start, boom, immediately with just a cell phone and a laptop. So a lot of other businesses like e-commerce and things, you've got to buy all these products, you've got to have all the software, it's so complicated and it costs all this money. Consulting, boom, you're started immediately with just a cell phone and a laptop. Also, there's no need to build a product or spend 5+ years building up goodwill or word of mouth. And consulting has high profit margins and plenty of cash flow from day one. So with a lot of other businesses out there, if you sell something for $100, you only get to keep like $20. But with consulting, it's got thick margins. And that means if you sell some services for about $1,000, then you'll probably get to keep about 800 of that, 900 of that. And there is no other thing really out there that has profit margins that high. Also, consulting gives you a massive confidence boost. And sometimes when you're starting your own thing, you can really get down and into a dark place. And that's what happened to me because I just didn't have any wins. But then when I started consulting and I got that first client, everything changed for me. Even though that client wasn't much money, that's where everything shifted. And I've noticed with myself and with all my other clients, that first client is critical. The sooner you get that, the better. And the beauty of consulting is that we get you that real quick. And you can get started right now with the skills that you already have or can quickly learn. And you can work from anywhere in the world, from your own home, or on your own time and have total freedom. So with my consulting business, I could decide tonight that I wanted to go to Spain and work there tomorrow. It is literally like that. And consulting is a business that you can be proud of and put your name to. And I know there's a lot of people out there that start these businesses just to make money. And whenever you do something just to make money, you're never really that proud of it, and you feel kind of sketchy and shady, and you don't want to tell your friends or family about it. And I've found that when you can't be proud of it, of what it is that you do, you're never going to be very good at it. And the beauty of consulting is that it's a business that you can really be proud of, develop mastery in, and really put your name to it, and that makes a world of difference. And some of you might be thinking, but what if I'm not cut out for consulting? And most people think, oh, I'm not a consultant, or I'm not cut out for consulting. I don't think I could be a consultant. And the truth is that most people have some huge misconceptions about consulting, and I want to clear those up right now. So here's what people think. To be a consultant, you need a college degree and fancy credentials. Or to be a consultant, you need to be in the US, have a fancy office, suit and staff. Or to be a consultant, you need to be all corporate-y and meet with big businesses in person. Or consultants charge time for money and have to travel all the time. Or you can only be a consultant in things like supply chain management or management, IT, HR, and other really formal, stale business things. And guys, none of these things are true. They're all just misconceptions that people have about consulting. And I didn't have any of these things. And pretty much all of my clients didn't have any of these things either. And we've all been tremendously successful. So these things are just flat out wrong. And you might be thinking, but if that's not a consultant, then what is? Like, what is a consultant? And here's the definition of consulting from the dictionary. So it says, engaged in the business of giving expert advice to people working in a specific field. So there's two key pieces. One, expert advice, and two, specific field. So all you really need to do is focus on a specific group of people and then help them solve a problem with some advice. And if you're doing that in any way, shape, or form, then that is consulting. And the truth is that anybody can be a consultant on anything. You don't have to be in formal business or corporate business. You don't have to wear a suit and tie. You know, I've shown you some of my case studies, like Hunter, who is a consultant in porn addiction, and another one of my clients, Brittany, who's a consultant in binge eating. You know, these are not formal business things, and these people are tremendously successful at it. So you can be a consultant in anything. And the only thing that defines a consultant is that they provide advice to a specific group of people. Now what I want to do is show you the only 3 things that you need to have a 6-figure consulting business. So I'm going to show you these 3 things. If you have these 3 things, then there is no way you can't be successful in making a lot of money as a consultant. And I see these days most people try to do everything when it comes to running a business and attracting clients. And this is what they do. So they start a blog and they start creating all of this content. And then they create a Facebook fan page and start posting there. Then they get an Instagram account. And then they're on Snapchat doing stories and all these other things. And then, of course, they've got to have a YouTube channel. So now they've got to film all of these videos. And then they've got to have a podcast. And then they've got to go and speak on stages and at all of these different events. And then, of course, they have to have an Amazon bestseller. And then they have to be featured on Fox and CNN and all of these other things. And then they need a New York Times bestseller. That's what they need. And then they think they need this fancy website that's mobile responsive and has all these flashing bells and things on it. And then they think they need a Twitter account, and they need to be active on that, and a LinkedIn account. And then, of course, they need to be on Oprah, and they need to be on Facebook Live, posting pretty much every day of, like, you know, what sandwich or what yogurt they ate or some cool dog they found. And, guys, this is just madness. And this couldn't be further from the truth. And this is what these people are like. They are literally a rat on a wheel, just chasing after an impossible goal. They think that in order to be successful, you have to do everything. And they're chasing the streak, they're chasing the dragon, and they're propping themselves up with coffee and all of these different things. They're stressed out of their mind, and they're working so hard, but nothing is coming of it. And I know this well because this used to be me, and it didn't work. All it ended in was a lot of heartache and a lot of failure. And the truth is, it's about doing less, not more. And it's about focusing on one thing, not 20. So when it comes to starting a successful consulting business, you want to focus on 1 to 3 things, and that's it. And here's the 3 things. Number 1, you need to rewire your brain and become a new person. Number 2, you need a niche and an offer that provides value to people. And number 3, you need a proven and repeatable process to attract and convert clients. And if you have all 3 of these things, there is no way that you are not successful as a consultant, making money and having a whole lot of fun with it at the same time. So you know what the 3 things are. Now let's drill into them and cover each one so that you can start implementing it yourself today. So number 1, you need to rewire your brain and become a different person. Now some of you are probably thinking, but Sam, what does this have to do with business? And have you ever wondered, I told you my story before of how I made that massive transformation. Have you ever wondered how I went from broke in a garage in New Zealand, too shy to leave the house, and then seemingly out of nowhere, to owning Consulting.com, making over $20 million, and changing the rules of the game for consulting as an industry?
No.
Or have you ever wondered how seemingly out of nowhere again helped record numbers of others achieve what's considered impossible? How? My logo was made in Keynote I just got into Keynote and I just wrote Sam Ovens, screenshot it, that was my logo. And my websites had spelling mistakes and broken opt-in form for 3 years running. I've never had any business cards. I have no phone number listed on my website. My last blog post was 2.5 years ago. I don't have Snapchat at all. I don't know what it is or how to use it. I have no Instagram. My Twitter account is truly pathetic. And I post on Facebook once every month, and that's on a hot month. And I've written 0 books. I've spoken on 0 stages, and I've been on Oprah 0 times. And I don't have a college degree. In fact, I don't have any certificate of any kind, not even the free, easy ones that you can get online. I have none of it. And so really, how did I achieve what other people can't achieve by not doing anything that everyone tells you that you're supposed to do? How did I break all the rules but then get the goal? How did I do it? Well, I transcended myself. And what does that mean? Well, I realized that the biggest blocker to my success was myself. I was my own worst enemy, and I doubted that I could do anything in life. And here's, some of the things I wanted to do something big by starting a business, but I was so afraid to face the day that I couldn't get out of bed. And it was crazy. Like, why would I dream of doing this thing, quit my job and then go to do it, but then just be paralyzed and stuck in bed, unable to do it? And I wanted to do sales calls and get customers. That's what I wanted. But I was too afraid to speak on the phone, and I just procrastinated like crazy. And I wanted to be confident and worthy of success. But I couldn't face talking to customers, and I always felt unworthy. And I wanted to be productive, mentally sharp, and get things done. But I was constantly trying to escape the pain. And I wanted to save money and be responsible. But then I'd always spend surplus funds and regret it. And I tried to fix the problem using logical and tactical things, but it didn't work. And I read books, I learned tons of new information, I improved my skills and watched motivational videos. But it didn't matter how much effort I put in, I was still spinning my tires with nothing to show for it. It was like something was holding me back. It was like there was a dark force that had me by the heels and was pulling me in. And this thing haunted me. Whatever I wanted to do in life, it was right there behind me, breathing down my neck. And it had me in its grips. And for years I wondered what this cruel thing was that was haunting my existence, only to figure out that it was me. And I had met the enemy, and the enemy was myself. And you're wondering why I'm saying all of this? Like, why are we talking about this stuff? Well, this webinar is about starting your own consulting business, getting clients, and making money. But after witnessing 10,000 of my students try to become successful consultants, make money, and build a life that they want, I've noticed that there's one thing in common with all of their successes. When they achieve success, they are not the same person that they were before. And it's the same case with me too. Who I am today is not who I was back then when I got started. And who you are right now is not who you will be when you achieve the things that you want. And why do you need a change? You might be thinking this. Why? Well, the biggest issue I see entrepreneurs face is what I call an identity crisis. And you might be thinking, well, what's that? Well, an entrepreneur identity crisis is when you have conflict and an internal war of these two selves. So you've got who you are right now, which is who you think you are, your perceived self. And then you've got this other person which you need to become so that you can start your own business and achieve your dreams. And these two characters are out of alignment. They're in conflict with each other, and they're at war with each other. And in order to achieve your goals and your dreams... Hey, it's Sam Ovens here, and thank you for coming here early. You're one of the organised ones, and I really appreciate that. And you're definitely going to get a seat on this webinar today, which is, good news. So many entrepreneurs just get paralysed. It's because they have this conflict of self and this war between who they are now and who they need to become. And personally, just to give you some examples, me, back when I got started, I was extremely shy and anxious, and I was too scared to call anyone. I would procrastinate making calls to companies. Hey, it's Sam Ovens here, and thank you for coming here. And I had a very low self-esteem. I would procrastinate like crazy. And I had a poor track record. In fact, I had none, a 0 track record. And I was always obsessed with my stories about the past, and I couldn't get out of my head. And I felt undeserving, and I had a huge fear of competition. And that was me and who I was. This is who I thought I was. And then there was a different me required to achieve my dreams. And this person was outgoing. I needed to be outgoing. Needed the ability to call people, ability to handle rejection, needed to feel worthy, the ability to act today and take action. I needed a success track record, and I needed the ability to compete and the ability to focus. And there was this gap between these two things.